So yesterday I did a video after I had immediately super chatted just Alex during his live stream that he was doing, where he was talking about some wrestling news that had been reported and talked about throughout the week, and he wanted to give his own opinions. And one of the news items that came out was the revelation as to why we had not seen the Briscoes in AEW after the tease they had with FTR, the tease and the brawl they had with FTR at Final Battle. And we found out throughout the week, or at least I read this, and I'm sure everybody else has read this, and it's been reported pretty much thoroughly ever since, that a hierarch at Turner Networks, mostly WarnerMedia, has pretty much kiboshed Tony Khan from signing the Briscoes. In other words, they pretty much put a stop to Tony Khan bringing them in because of some homophobic tweets that Jay Briscoe basically said over a decade, or at least almost a decade ago, but also apologized for around the same time. And also the fact that the Briscoes were mostly known for always using the Confederate flag during the entrances, on the gear and on the belts and everything. And one thing I talked about in my video was this is just another lesson Tony Khan is learning in his young tenure as an owner of a wrestling promotion. And that lesson is, as long as you have your promotion broadcast on a major network, that although you're the boss of your promotion and you can pretty much supply what you promised to the network production-wise and all that, and also be able to sign just about everybody under the sun, you know, that's free and available, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not without limitations, because those limitations could come from someone, you know, above you. And in this case, someone that you would have to look at as your boss, and that being the network, that being, you know, the WarnerMedia, Turner Networks. So pretty much Tony Khan, you know, got the kibosh from his bosses at WarnerMedia and Turner Networks, you know, when it came to bringing the Briscoes in. Even though the Briscoes and FTR have pretty much clamored for this match to happen, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, or at least, you know, not in AEW, not even in the AEW owned Ring of Honor or wherever. It doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, unless, as some people pointed out, a more smaller or mid-range indie promotion is willing to pay out the wazoo to make it happen. We're not going to see it happen because of the tweets you know, that Jay Briscoe had put out over nearly a decade ago, despite his apology, as well as what they would use as part of their entrance, you know, and that being the Confederate flag. But like I said, this is just another lesson Tony Khan has to learn, you know, because of the fact that it's not just a lesson that he has to learn, it's a lesson for everybody to learn. And that is the fact that, you know, if you have a product and you feel, hey, this product can make billions upon billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, or basically a very good amount of revenue for any network or streaming service, that even though you might be able to work out a deal with said network or streaming service, that depending on who's running them, you're going to have either pretty much free range, which, you know, I'm sure Tony Khan was hoping for here, or you're going to have to heed to certain limitations, in other words, certain rules. And in this case, you know, when it comes to WarnerMedia, that means not bringing in certain people that said certain things that, even though they apologized for over about a decade ago, still could pretty much be dug up and be relevant to this day. Now, a lot of people wonder, you know, why is that preventing, you know, the Briscoes from being brought in if Jay apologized? Because I think Alex pretty much said it best when I super chatted him. We live in a day and age now where, you know, social media runs the world, if you will. The world runs on social media. Sports, entertainment, you name it, it runs on social media. So anything you may have said in the past, even though you may have apologized for it, could still come back to bite you. And in today's day and age, we live in a world to where, yeah, Jay Briscoe's apology could be accepted, but he has to basically put a cherry on top of that. And that cherry on top is him coming out and saying, hey, I embrace that law that my state of Delaware put out. And heck, I embrace the fact if you want to teach my kids that it's right to, you know, go that direction, then that's cool with me. That's basically, I think, what would it take for someone like Jay Briscoe and his brother to come into AEW, for him to embrace what he's against. You know, and if he does that to go along with the apology he made about a decade ago, around the same time he made the tweet, then that pretty much would, I would guess, in my opinion, bring them in. Because, hey, you're willing to accept now. Hey, he's cool with us. Let's bring him in. That's how society on social media in this world works. But again, like I said, this is just another example of the fact that, you know, you could have a great product that you feel will bring in billions and billions of dollars, trillions and trillions of dollars, great revenue for a major network or major streaming service. But again, it all depends on who's running that service, who's running that network. And if it's somebody that says, hey, you have free range, we have no problem with, you know, whatever you want to put on your show, whatever stories you want to tell, whoever you want to sign to a contract to perform on your show or in your promotion, you know, unless they have someone like that, you know, they're going to have to adhere to certain limitations and rules. And in the case of Tony Khan and AEW, those people are WarnerMedia. Those people are Turner Networks, if you catch my drift. And it's not just, you know, networks and streaming services. It's also any other media, like comic books and stuff, like comic books and, you know, novels and theatrical movies and stuff. That even though you could say, hey, you know, we could get away with just about anything in a comic book or anything in a novelization or anything in a movie, sometimes there's going to be moments to where you think you could get away with it, and then word gets out about what you plan to do, and everything, or what scene, or, you know, scene and stuff you plan to showcase, or what, like, controversial moment you plan to put out there. And sooner or later, you know, because of the world we live in, it'll get out to the mass public, and studios, comic book publishers, you know, people that publish novels and stuff, you know, if they're cool with what you want to do, then hey, more power to you. But if they are the kind of people that are like, hey, we're not going to let that pass, then guess what? You have to change it. Either you got to, you know, scrap that idea, you know, for your story and your comic book and your novel. Either you got to scrap that scene in your upcoming television, you know, in your upcoming theatrical film, I should say, or else you alter it, you change it to where it's kind of what you want, but not exactly, and it's more appropriate for what, let's say, the publisher or the studio that's going to distribute your movie, you know, is hoping for. You know, that's kind of the society we live in. The fact that you think you can get away with certain things, you can do certain things, but you can't, due to the fact that you have limitations. And it all depends on who you have to answer to. And again, with the situation with the Briscoes not being able to come into AEW, in which Tony Khan, I'm sure, would love to have him come into AEW to do the FTR feud, it is a prime example. But what do you guys think? Do you think maybe, as some people would put it, networks, streaming services, depending on who's running them, you know, are becoming too soft? And do you think maybe people who should just, you know, should just be free range and let people, you know, come out and, you know, bring in who they want or say what they want? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video. Super chats and super stickers are open and would be appreciated during the live chat. Also check me out at my other sites as well. And until then, next time, guys, I will talk to you later, but give me your thoughts on this. I would love to hear what you have to say. Peace out. God bless.